All right, everybody. I'm here with Kenny Silva of himself, and uh, and Kenny, what's the name of your new company again? Remind me.
It's inverse leadership.
In verse, and that's like in and then like a colon verse, right?
Right, right. There's kind of the double meaning there. First
Mm-hmm.
thought, inverse leadership, that old model of hoarding power for myself and not giving it to my followers, that's gone. We want to teach people to really be people building, empowering leaders. And that's one facet of it. The other facet of it is I'm building very biblically, scripturally based company with a scripturally based kind of leadership philosophy.
Cool. Tell
In
me.
verse.
Yeah, I like it a lot, actually. I thought it was an awesome name.
Thank you.
Kind
Yeah.
of give us a. I know you have quite the extensive career journey up to this point, and if any of your followers are watching this, they are probably aware of that as well. But
Oh
kind of
dear.
give us the entrepreneurial aspect of that, as far as and not necessarily just what your actual physical entrepreneurial journey was, but maybe even some of your mental entrepreneurial journey in that as well. Give us the background.
Sure, sure. Really, the as far as being in business for myself, being kind of a self-employed guy, that came with music. I started in with music way back during my Air Force career. But as I walked down that road, I went to college for music, started playing with bands. I found the need to kind of shop myself out and look for work. And there's a little bit of marketing that went in with that, a little bit of building up my brand, my guitar player brand. So that's when it started. It didn't really shift to a very businessy mindset until I, disenfranchised with the whole music career thing. I decided to shift gears and get into real estate. That's when, in establishing that business, I really had to take on that entrepreneurial mindset and learn exactly how you run a business.
Interesting. And then from there, you are now kind of branching out and doing the writing and speaking, and not even
Right.
branching out, but moving on,
Right.
um, and just taking it kind of in the whole, just the next step of entrepreneurship and the inverse and leadership, and then blogging and speaking and everything, which is all, I mean, tied up in that, I'm assuming.
Right.
And cool. Well, how did you feel like all during that time, or when you were in the Air Force, you kind of said you started to go out on your own. Did you kind of always feel like you belonged on your own, or that you kind of just were a little different?
Yeah. Yeah. As far as in my life, I've always kind of risen to those leadership roles within whatever my context was, and I've always been that kind of ideating innovator type where I like to look at the current systems and processes and say I can do them better. Now, sometimes I'm right, sometimes I'm wrong, and I've I've learned growing up, when those times are, but I've always had that spark inside of me where I want to create something new, create something better, something bigger. So it's always just been kind of ingrained in who I am. That's why when the real estate option came along, I was like, this could be something that really allows me to fully express my desire to create in a larger scale setting.
Yeah. Do you feel like you finally kind of found your niche for now, or your passion or direction? Because we've had conversation before
Sure.
about how we're very like kind of all over the place in our head, or we just have a lot of
Yeah.
ideas and we get really behind things. We're curious about different things.
Yeah.
Do you feel like you finally kind of settled into to something?
That's kind of the entrepreneurial mindset where you're constantly curious about things, always wanting to create new things, come up with new ideas, and just run down the road with them. Right now, I found my niche and the thing I'm truly, truly passionate in, and it's been revealed to me as I go through the real estate context that I love working with people. I love developing people, encouraging people, empowering them to be the best version of themselves that they can be. And that's kind of what sent me down this leadership consulting road, is that I can get in and talk with entrepreneurs and small business owners and corporate management and help them to go from this place to here, and help them to pull out the best in them and really develop their skills. That's the kind of stuff that just lights me up and keeps me going.
Yeah. Do you have you noticed, or do you well, yeah, have you noticed any change that, having that passion and what you're doing has brought? Whereas, you've kind of gone from, career to career in the past, and that not even with the real estate, which is, really harnessing the leadership and entrepreneur side of you, but still not necessarily something that you're super passionate about. Do you feel like you've noticed a difference in the way you go about things, about your work, or your mental processes, since you've kind of honed in on what your passion is?
Sure, it's there's like a spark that goes off inside of you, and we've all experienced it to some extent, where you really hit your groove and you find it easy to get passionate about whatever you're talking about. Like, I can sit down and crank out a blog post as far as leadership development goes and not even think about it. But when I was in real estate, that was kind of, a labor. And it's not to say that I don't enjoy real estate. I really do. My favorite part there is working with people, though. So I'm trying to pull that house component out and get directly to the working with people. And when I can do that, when I can really just sit down and go face to face, one on one, and work with a person and see a real tangible life change in them from the beginning of the hour to the end of the hour, that's what just, that's what keeps me going.